Well, hi, I'm Rick Kahler. Thanks for joining me today. Well, my old friend John popped his head in my office this week, unannounced as always. He says, "Hey Rick, do you have a financial form that I could borrow?" I said, "John, we've got a lot of financial forms here. What type of form are you looking for?" "Well, one of those forms that shows how much you're worth." I said, "Oh, a personal financial statement. Sure. Ask Lindsay for one." He said, "Okay, great, gotta go." And he started heading toward Lindsay's desk, and I hollered at him. "So, John, what do you need a financial statement for? Are you applying for a loan?" He says, "Oh, no, I've got a date tonight, and I need to know if I should bother having a second one with her." Now, while this interchange was fictional, the probability of this happening may not be so remote, based on a recent survey that I read in the Wall Street Journal. It was done by Prince and Associates, which is a Connecticut wealth research firm. According to the survey, marrying for money is given more serious consideration than many of us have ever thought. The survey asked over 1,100 participants who earned between $30,000 and $60,000 this particular question: how willing are you to marry an average-looking person that you liked if they had money? Now notice they said liked, not loved. Of women in their 30s, 74% said that they were extremely or very willing to marry for money over love or appearance. Now, men in their 20s were the more romantic gender, with only 41% saying that they would marry for money. Apparently, money becomes of increasing importance to men as they age, as 61% of the men in their 40s said they would throw love out the window in favor of marrying for money. Now, I don't know about you, but if I were a single woman or a man over 40 that had accumulated a little nest egg, knowing that 2 out of 3 people I dated would marry for money over love would give me a little food for thought. I mean, pragmatically speaking, it may give a pretty good reason to have an early discussion in the relationship, over candlelit dinner and wine, of course, about net worth, prenups, and financial expectations. That kind of leads me to another interesting aspect of the survey. What does having money look like? Well, the survey found it varies by gender and age. For example, women in their 20s, the price tag at where love and looks go out the window is $2.5 million. For women in their 40s, the price tag's just a tad lower at $2.3 million. But for women in their 30s, the price drops pretty dramatically to $1.1 million. Now, when I was reading this, I verbalized my surprise at 30-something women being willing to settle for less to my wife. And she quipped, "Well, that makes perfect sense. Women in their 30s are very aware that their biological clock is ticking. So, I guess they're a little less picky." Now, interestingly, love and physical appearance are more important to men. The financial threshold where love and looks go out the window for men is considerably lower, regardless of the age, between 1 to 1.4 million. Now, the good news is that those surveyed who would marry for money had no illusions about their chances for a long and satisfying marital experience. 71% of the women in their 20s said they would expect to get divorced. I wonder if they meant planned to get divorced. If a person strictly marries for money, wouldn't a reasonable game plan be to endure the relationship for the minimum period of time required in that particular state before filing for divorce and walking away with half the assets? It would sound reasonable to me. Now, while the poll didn't ask, I would guess that most people would agree that marrying someone to whom you were physically attracted, in love with, who just happened to have money, would be the preferable scenario for a healthy and happy marriage. Still, it makes me thankful that I am happily married and not dating.